It's like, so we stream on Fridays, we stream on Saturdays, and then sometimes we stream on Tuesdays. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Scott's here with us. My name is Nick, host of 312 Squadron channel, I guess is what you call it these days. I'm joined by my co-host, who's not Scott, Drew, although because the order in Discord, it always switches. So Drew is Scott, Scott is Drew. I'll fix that here in a second. But Scott Olaveson is with us tonight in Canada. How's it going, Scott? Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Nick. It's good to be here.
Super happy to have you. And I'm gonna really quickly just move you guys over, just switch you two out. Drew, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I barely made it here on time.
He made it, but he made it nonetheless. That's all that matters. Just want to take the time to give Drew the proper shout out, because this show would not be the 312 show without Drew. So we love you, man. Thanks for giving me your time so many times for X-Wing and for this. It's been great having you, dude. And don't beat yourself up too much.
And a great opponent.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow, thank you. That's right, I played you.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Were you Bosk or were you the other?
I think it's the Republic. Yeah, Republic list.
Yeah.
Which, Scott, why don't you show off that shirt? Give it a good close up for the camera for us. This is Ada 2 Actus. There you go. Chicago flag shirt that Scott won. Yeah, you won for the 312 swag contest that we held. It looks great. I want one. I make a new shirt. I'm like, damn it, I really want that. I see someone else get it. I'm like, god damn it. I really want that. So I'll probably get myself a couple different designs. Probably an E-Wing one as well, because, E-Wings are E-Wings. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I mean, we usually do, but a lot of really exciting things to talk about, interesting things to talk about with X-Wing. We got some speculating for the Kenobi show. Let's just roll over to our topic screen so we can just start streaming on Twitch tonight. There we go. There we are. All right, so our topics for tonight are, got them right here, and the topic animations, where did it go? Here we go, topics overlay, boom. All right, so first of all, I have a couple announcements to make. We are going to be hosting a tournament, in-person tournament, December 18th. So if anybody in like the Chicagoland area, I know that both of you guys were so far away, but for those of you that are watching, that might be, if you're in Indiana, if you're in Missouri, if you are in Michigan, Wisconsin, here in Illinois, we are hosting a 20-person tournament. I'd call that a small tournament. I mean, 20 people isn't that many. It's about as many as we can fit in our game store at Good Games. And there are 7 spots left. There are 2 people that are pretty much, they're on the fence, or they might sign up, so tentatively 5. But just if anybody is around in the area and wants to play some organized X-Wing with some great custom prizes from us and from a couple of other people I am working with, including free raffles, go ahead and check out the TTO link. I'm going to link it right now. ! Windy City Trials. And Streamlabs should bail me out there. Awesome. So that is our first order of business. If anybody has any questions about that, you can also go to our Facebook page for updates on that. And we'll be live streaming it. So if you're like, hey, I'm living in California like Drew, or like, dude, I'm in Canada like Scott, we'll be streaming the entire event. It's going to be 6 rounds, so 4 rounds of Swiss, 2 rounds of Top Cuts, so top 4. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're around, go ahead and check us out. If you're in the area, go ahead and head to the TTO page, do it, sign up. Love to have you. So it looks like the poll that we had up, not many people voted, but a lot of people like ketchup, man. That's just the way it is. Drew, are you a mustard or you're a ketchup guy?
I'm a ketchup. I'm
prefer
sorry.
That's okay. You prefer to have ketchup in your hot dog. Do you like mustard, or is it just purely ketchup?
It's taken me a long time. As a kid, I really hated mustard, and yeah, I mean, I kind of grew into it. But yeah, I was kind of always been a ketchup guy. But now I'm kind of more mustard. Got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
you've kind of shifted a little bit, you're saying.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, here in Chicago, if you get a hot dog and you put ketchup on it, it's kind of like traditionally, like, you're not supposed to do that. It's not like anyone's gonna stop you, like, whack it out of your hand or like hurt you, but it's just like, I don't know. There's just like some like unwritten stupid rules that have existed in certain places, and I guess that's one of them here. So real men use tomato sauce, none of this ketchup, tomato sauce on your hot dog. And then Scott, you prefer barbecue sauce
Sure do.
on hot dogs.
On everything.
On just anything. Got it.
Crab dinner, hot dogs. Sure.
Have you tried the barbecue sauce ice cream? That's a thing that exists.
Wait, really?
I have not.
Would you try it?
I would try it. Don't know if I would like it, but I would try it.
Yeah, savory ice cream flavors. Or I mean, though ketchup's or sorry, barbecue sauce is kind of tangy, so I don't know if. But I'd say it's got a savory side to it. Anyways, moving on. Speaking of Chicago, we're gonna talk about our random Chicago for the day. So this one is actually really important if you care anything about this, like, you know, history, and if you're interested in architecture, because we're going to be talking about the Great Chicago Fire. Let me find the topic. Sorry guys, one sec. Topic overlay, perfect. We're going to move the slider down. So the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, super long time ago. So why does this matter? Like, who cares about a fire? Basically, this fire burned down the entire city, like, save for just a small part of it, right?
Yep.
1871, really long time ago. So it burned for more than 24 hours, which is, you know, Drew knows in California. That's not a long time.
It used to be a thing that didn't happen all that often, and now it happens every year in California.
It's terrible. It truly is terrible.
Bad.
Truly is terrible, and I'm actually going to move Scott and Drew again.
So
if you guys are wondering how this happened, it's because it depends on who joins our Discord video chat first. It can get wonky, so there we go. Fixed enough. Cool. So this is a video reference from a YouTube channel called We Are Teachers, which is cool history videos. The Great Chicago Fire started on October 8th, 1871. It was actually started in a little shed because some livestock kicked over a lantern, set the place on fire, and that's just how well cities were built back then, where a little fire like that can burn an entire city. A few hundred people died. 17,500 buildings and 73 miles of street were engulfed in the fire. And 90,000 people, 1 in 3 residents, were left homeless. So 120 bodies were recovered, and they believe that over 300 people died. So the reason why this is significant is that this actually kind of paved the way for the city to be like rebuilt in a very aggressive and progressive way, which is, you know, has become the city that people know today, which is like a very architecturally diverse, massive, beautiful city, as one of the most iconic skylines in America, at least. And for a while had one of the tallest buildings in the world. And meanwhile, yeah, because Drew was held at work so late, man, I feel bad for him. He's a hungry boy. He can eat.
That was my fault, man. I'm so sorry. So
no worries. Nice graphics. Thanks. Appreciate you.
They look great, by the way, Nick. I like them.
Thanks. Although I don't, sir, a lot of the references I don't take credit for. That's why I do link the credit, because I use like YouTube video references. The 312 show will never be monetized, so I don't care. Like, I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to steal anyone's stuff. It's just good reference material to have, and also I don't have the time to be building full documentaries for every. But the 312 show related stuff is something I've created, so if that's what you guys are talking about, I appreciate it. Let me stop the poll for ketchup and mustard. I think that we get the points. Where is the poll for this? Sorry guys, I have 1,000 tabs open right now. Here we go. And yeah, so the city looks so much different today because of the fire. I can only imagine what it would have looked like had that never happened. I'm sure we would have a few buildings, but just kind of thanks to the cultural melting pot that Chicago, just like New York is, it basically allowed it to become something a lot nicer. And they actually commemorate the Great Chicago Fire as one of the stars in the Chicago flag. Like, can you imagine being alive back then and being like, what the fuck? Like my family was killed by this fire, and you guys are celebrating it on your flag. It's interesting, but I understand why, because it kind of allowed the city to be what it is today. The fact that being his fire repellent is just like a giant mirror, basically. Yeah. The Buffalo skyline is a close second in my heart. Very recognizable. When we were doing the Tri-City tournament, a lot of people were confused about, like, they confused, like, the Indianapolis skyline with, like, the Chicago skyline with the Buffalo. Like, 2 out of the 3 skylines are, like, not skylines that people think of. And then, and then Chicago isn't one that people know well either. It's just, like, has a couple of more, like, well-known buildings, and that's as far as it goes. So.
I don't know which one's which. I just like using the tokens.
The tokens are cool, right? Yeah, except for those, a lot of our European folk, they broke in the mail just because man, I don't know if they have to do a sledgehammer to each one, so like it's to process, but I do my best when I ship stuff out for our giveaways to people that live out of the US, and it's just like the way that they arrive is terrifying. Sometimes there's like tire marks. It's like, I don't know what is happening behind the scenes, but terrifying. So for those of you guys that got those templates, those tokens in one piece, thank God. I feel really bad for those that broke. They especially go through, they hammer down all of mine, guaranteed. Fuck the post office. And Drew works for the post office, but he probably, Drew is delivering mail. He's not the one smashing everything with the sledgehammer. That's a different department, separate department there at the post office.
It's true. And I know nothing about the other departments. All I know is my department. Yep.
All right. We're gonna move on to our next topic, which is it's time for hot takes, and I actually got a couple, so it's time.
I got
Nice. So we're gonna try to avoid the X-Wing hot takes if we can. And if we do want to say one, we have to say 2 non-X-Wing related hot takes to allow that to be said. So, I'm gonna have to keep switching you guys around. But why don't we start off with you, Scott? You got any spiciness for us?
As long as this doesn't interfere with our speculation for Kenobi, but I think Mandalorian is going to be a better show than Kenobi is.
So, like, overall, including the next season? Or do you just mean so far, like what we have, like the current standing of the Mandalorian?
Both. I think the Mandalorian has a lot more potential and opportunity to work with stuff than Obi-Wan does.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's going to be a short series. So, I think 6 episodes or 8? Less than 10. I know that for a fact.
Yep. Mando was less as well, so it's not too much to think about, but yeah, I completely agree with Scott there. I don't think it's gonna be. I think Mandalorian has much more room in it than Kenobi will.
So here's a hot take. This might surprise some people. Maybe to others, it's like it's not a hot take at all. But I just saw Dune. I finally saw it. I'm very behind.
Oh,
but I saw it. Dune is the first part of Dune is better than the entire sequel trilogy. It's just a better sci-fi, better, more entertaining, better, like everything. Thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. It was a lot and it was really intense, but I am confident in saying that it is far better than those 3 movies combined. I don't know if either of you guys have seen Dune.
I'm surprised. I didn't. I was blown away by it. I love it, and I completely agree with you, Nick. I think it's just better storytelling, better director. Like you can see,
it's artistic. It's got this artistic vibe,
and it's so interesting. I just watched a video of someone going through the original with David Lynch's Dune. And it's like, I don't think we could have gotten the Dune that we got without David Lynch's Dune. And it's so cool to see both of them play off each other, and it's very clear that the 2021 definitely took inspiration from it. It was very cool. So.
Yeah, Scott, have you seen Dune? Do you have any interest in it?
I'm interested in it, but I just haven't gotten around to seeing it.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to.
Yeah, you have to see it in a movie. That's my recommend. You can watch it on HBO Max, but Hans Zimmer, Denis Villeneuve, and just the visual spectacle, the visceral experience is not something you're gonna get on your couch. It's still gonna be an enjoyable movie, and there's nothing wrong with, you know, having the comfort of your own home. It's right there, you know, around you at all times, right? But if you can and you feel comfortable with it and you have that access, go see it in a movie theater. You know, movie theaters need us right now a lot, really bad, like really, really bad, because they are dying. So it's been really hard for them. So if you can, even if you hate how expensive your popcorn is, I get it. It sucks. Go see it in a movie theater. Go to the movies. Anyone else in the chat? Have you guys seen Dune? Let me know what you thought of it if you did. But yeah, honestly, that's my hot take. So Dune better than the entire sequel trilogy combined. Drew, you kind of piggybacked off of what Scott said, but what about you? What do you got?
Oh, I got him. I got hot takes. All right, you guys ready for this?
Yes. Oh,
The best quesadilla to eat is a hot dog. Yep.
I like the curveball there.
That's my hot take. Is the best case. That's one of my hot takes. I got another one that's pretty good.
Okay. Do it again.
Yeah.
This next one.
Do it again. Okay.
Next hot take.
Next hot take is flavored coffee is best coffee.
Right.
Like I'm talking like something weird that's not like caramel or like chocolate or like mocha. I'm talking like apple or like I don't know. I don't even know. Like banana. Have you ever seen that? And like other flavored types of coffee.
Yeah.
Like those are the best types of coffee.
Are you like an instant coffee guy, or are we talking like brewing a proper coffee machine? Like
I'm not a coffee guy at all. I just within the last couple of years started drinking like mochas, and I'm now starting to branch off into like vanilla or, I mean, I guess it's more generic stuff. But I wasn't a big coffee drinker up until a few years ago, and believe me, working 12-hour days.
Oh yeah, you get up early
now. Now I have to drink coffee.
Yeah.
I have to in order to get through my day.
We had a couple people talking about Dune. I did Psionic Rain, very good, visually wonderful. That's a great way to describe it, visually wonderful. Shamrock Shake flavored coffee. Oh man, I try. I mean, I'm willing to try most things. Just get a milkshake like a man. Milkshake's not gonna. You might just crash. Like it's like there are certain things where like even there's sugar that will give you that boost. A milkshake is more of a food coma thing. Like you have it and then you don't want to move for a long time and you don't have as much energy. There are certain like times where like when I'm at work and I have a certain lunch, I'm like, man, I don't know how I can stay awake for the next 2.5, 3 hours. Like it's just certain things, certain sugars, caffeine, it hits you different. I'm a big tea guy. I love caffeinated tea, but when I drink coffee, my stomach kills me. Like especially if I haven't eaten too much, it just I feel horrible, super nauseated. So kind of interesting. We all have our preferences. Mystic, this was our very first like merch. Like this was a inner circle local group thing. My buddy Peter, shout out to Peter Biagaj, my Polish friend who had a connection and got these made for us. I can probably replicate something similar to this. This is like a thin jogger type sweater. But Drew, show your shirt. We got the 312 tees, and then we have what Scott is repping as well. I promise I didn't ask Scott to wear this. He just got it in the mail the other day.
It's all thematic.
Yeah, if any of you guys like want a shirt like that, but you want a specific ship, so Scott has an Ada, I can do that for you like super easy. Just let me know. Super easy, dude, barely an inconvenience.
Nick, we gotta do like we'll have all 7 factions. Like we've got clearly we've got Fett for Scum, right? Like that's
or Star Viper.
Star Viper, you could do that too, and then of course the Razor Crest when that shows up. Like
yeah. Dude, do you guys know when that's... We'll talk about it later, but when is that supposed to come out?
Oh, on my birthday.
Which is...
Oh, sorry. No, the Razor Crest. I thought you were talking about the Book of Boba Fett.
But Razor Crest, you know?
Nope.
I think it's up in the air, right? We don't know.
It is, yeah, we don't
March-ish?
My wife and I tried making extra Monster Extra that game, and it's also you guys talking about yes, the Godzilla talk.
Oh, that's me. Sorry. Yeah.
No,
we're
that's
talking,
okay. I'm just
we're
reading
talking
everything.
about a board game. When you come over, Nick, I'll introduce it to you. We'll watch one of the shitty movies. Actually, there's like 7 of them available on YouTube right now for free, which is awesome. Godzilla movies. But anyways.
Hey, Dr. Weston, another fellow Canadian in the chat. What's up? What's up, Darren? How are you doing? I was gonna say, Drew, I will be in California the 20th through the 27th. I leave the 28th, so we got a week. So we'll figure.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, 3 dice will be rolled. 3 dice will be rolled a lot.
Wow, over and over again,
For Scott to come to LVO. Scott, come to LVO. Go to LVO. Go to
A little
LVO.
more persistent, convincing.
Whoa! Don't point those things at me. Yeah, I officially booked. Here's a little fun. This is a rant. We're going off the rails right now. So here's a little bit of a rant, mini rant. I booked a trip for my girlfriend and I to go to Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Open, but she needs to stay back to work. So I'm like, okay, I'll cancel her part of the trip. I'll just get like points or like travel credit. So I call Southwest. I'm like, hey, I needed to cancel her leg of the trip, and they're like, that's fine, but you can't use it. She has to take a flight. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I can't get like a refund or like anything? Like, no, because you put her name, you cannot use her ticket. Like, well, that sucks.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I have like $350 in round trip fare that's just kind of sitting there for when, I'm like, hey, when you need to travel, you have this. But it's just like super, just keep that in mind, guys, when you're booking travel, if you're ever, traveling with someone else and you're not sure, maybe they can go, maybe they can't, don't book it. Just because you're not going to get that money back. Like, they will not give it to you. So yeah, Southwest, that's fun. Greg can speak to how frustrating Southwest has been, but that's one of my first more aggravating experiences with them in a while. But yeah, so anybody got any more hot takes? I think I'm the one that said the least, but Scott, do you have anything before I kind of end this round? Do you have anything burning there that you want to throw at us?
No, mine was basically just made up on the spot, so...
And it was better than all of mine that I've made up on the spot. I don't know if you've been on the show before, but I'm not good at hot takes.
I typically make mine up. Oh, here's one more. We like to talk about food. Panera Bread, overrated, not good, bad.
100%. I agree. Yep.
I just want to slap the hot take button forever. Just over and over again. It is just not good. Greg is a hot take. It is with it, man. Hit me with your hot take. We'll go back to our topic screen.
It's on deep dish.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
right.
about
It's
deep
gotta
dish,
be something about deep dish, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, it's time for guest rapid fire. Oh, this is my favorite part. I love doing this. I always curate the list of questions to our guest. So Scott, of course, we've mentioned it several times already, is Canadian. We love our fellow neighbors of the north, and Streamlabs loves them too because they can ship merch to the Canadians within 1 week. It takes me 3, so I got to figure that one out. But Scott, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. The rules. If you guys are not familiar with how guest rapid fire works, Scott will have 45 seconds to answer as many questions as I ask him as he can in that time frame. The most that have been answered up to this point is 12 by our very first guest that kicked off the show, Matt Carey. So shout out to Matt. He's still the current champ. I think Scott has a chance. I think everyone has a chance, but I think Scott's got a chance. So let me switch over to our main camera here, our main screen, and I'll get the timer prepped as well. I just have to make sure I time this properly so that I give Scott the best chance here. Let me pull up the questions. All right, here are the show notes. Perfect. Okay. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. It should be on. All right. Let me. You know what? Sorry, I'm paranoid. I need to double. I need to double check the timer to make sure it is working. Let me. Is it gonna pop up? There it is. Cool. All right. 3, 2, and 1. Here's the first question. Canadian bacon or US bacon?
Canadian bacon.
Are all Canadians nice?
No.
Your favorite Star Wars planet?
Dantooine.
Cash or cryptocurrency?
Cash.
Least favorite faction in X-Wing? Is Toronto worth visiting?
Sure, there's good stuff there.
Is everything in Canada more expensive than the United States?
Yes.
Last time you paid for healthcare?
I don't remember.
Never. Best pilot in X-Wing?
That's going to be Obi-Wan.
Favorite comedy?
Final Space.
Favorite Ada pilot? Got
Anakin.
5 seconds. All right. What is your favorite season?
Summer.
Favorite board games? He's hit 13!
Yeah.
Your favorite board game. This is the last one. What'd you say?
Gloomhaven.
You see, that's the one
Gloomhaven?
that stumps. Gloomhaven. That's the one that stumps a lot of people because they have to think about it. But you play Gloomhaven a lot. I see you playing it a lot in the Nickel City X-Wing Discord. So
My second favorite is Battlestar Galactica.
Ooh, very nice.
You know, I've never seen it. Is that like a shame on me thing? Like I should like die because of that?
I don't think so. It's old. I mean, it's been around for a while, right?
Well,
Like,
I heard the show kind of died because, or it didn't do well, but because they released it like in the wrong order, right? They like didn't care that it was like. I heard that was a problem with Battlestar Galactica when it first came out. Yeah, but I've never seen it. I just know that Dwight loves Battlestar Galactica, and I do love The Office, so I respect Battlestar Galactica, but I have not seen it. So, yeah, if you guys recommend I do it, I will watch it. I will let you know what I think. But yeah, so Scott, you hit 13. The next question would have been your favorite comic, if you have one.
that's an interesting question. I
Not
like
really. My favorite character in Marvel is Captain Marvel because
Nice.
she's a giant nerd, and her cat's in the comics is named Chewie after Chewbacca, not Goose.
Sorry,
Good
we're
stuff,
responding here
good
to
stuff.
this. I don't read a lot of comics as well. We're super plagued. Get the fuck out of here.
I am a huge
Sorry.
fan of Ultimate Spider-Man, but that was before they killed off Peter Parker, and then they introduced Miles in that comic. And I hated Miles for a long time because I love Peter, and I thought it was so weird how they like haphazardly killed him off, and then, of course, it was like, oh, they did it, I love Miles now. Ultimate Spider-Man was definitely my favorite back in the day.
Hi. Love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
I love you too.
Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
Hello.
I don't think they can see you.
It's okay.
Pink House
There you
here.
go.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, I'm just banned by Twitch.
Disband.
Twitch just banned me for that.
And yep,
We love you too. Aw, yeah.
Aw,
The chat loves it,
that's
and I'm
cute.
the chat like everybody.
Yep.
Aw.
Wait a minute. Oh.
Wait a minute.
Oh, look. It's a
Oh,
cat.
and there's cats too. Oh, it's just the stream is off the rails.
Just surrounded by
there's
females.
yeah, there's a lot of
A
females
lot of females here.
in this room.
I'm gonna go see if they can screw up some serious Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, we're about to set up Jen insists we set up the Christmas tree before Thanksgiving.
I know.
So,
Oh, nice. Excellent.
yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, bye.
Do you want her still?
Nah, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, with you guys. All right. Star Wars lore. Sorry about that, guys. It's time to talk about Star Wars. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I kind of like Star Wars. The channel doesn't talk about it too much, but it's worth watching. If you haven't seen Star Wars, I think you should consider it.
You don't say.
All right. So this is a topic that
That's
good
amazing.
soldiers follow orders. Yeah. Actually, good call out because let me make sure I mute the other segments here too because I don't think I remember to render without audio. Sorry about that, guys. You should be able to hear me now. You didn't miss too much. Domino Squadron featured a couple of our favorite clones, including Fives and Echo. They were actually and Heavy as well. They all kind of suffered different fates, but one of the highlights of the episode for me is actually clone Maintenance 99, who basically was hunchback and kind of deformed and was unable to serve, so he was kind of resigned to being like the maintenance man, the janitor. And he got really close with, I can't remember, Scott, which clone trooper he got really close with. Was it Heavy, or there was one of them that he became good friends with?
Yeah, Heavy gives him his medal, and
Yep.
then when they come back to Camino later to talk to him, he's like, "Oh, but where's Heavy?" He's like, "Oh, he died for us."
Yeah, really sad. I mean, it
Yeah.
makes me like feel really bad for him. You know, it's a good story. I feel like this is where Clone Wars kind of starts to become a little bit more serious and kind of shows that, hey, this is more than just a kids show in Disney XD. And a lot of good character building. You know, Fives is later known for his attempt to whistleblow about the Order 66 related, you know, chip implanted in the clone trooper, the inhibitor chip planted in the clone troopers' brains that kind of allow them to basically, you know, do what they're told. And he ends up, you know, spoilers, but it's been a long time, dying because of that incident. And then Echo kind of, you know, Echo is weird because Echo disappears, you know, you think he's dead. Yeah, and then he is undead. Like they kind of like use him, his brain as a computer. The Separatists, you find out, have been using him as a computer. What are you showing me?
I'm having Mystic is like, Drew's checked out. He's not even paying attention. He's on his phone, and I'm like,
He's got the
Twitch
chat
account,
open.
my Twitch account won't let me be on my computer, so I'm on my phone, chatting with everyone on Twitch. But Nick, I wanted to say, spoiler alert: all the clones die. So
Yeah,
you're
I couldn't
good there,
remember,
man.
so I don't want to
Yeah.
definitively say something that's wrong.
I mean, they all eventually pass away, right? Like,
Yeah.
old
For
age or
Rex.
otherwise.
Rex is Return of the Jedi.
It's also true Rex is in the Return of the Jedi. Yep.
Little Rex. So anything you wanted to add, Scott, about like why would you pick this episode as one to like kind of highlight, or this group more specifically
series.
than beyond the episode, really?
I just feel like they have the most growth in the whole show out of any character you see. Like Rex starts and ends pretty much the same, except for like his relationship with Ahsoka, and like Clone Commander Cody is kind of Obi-Wan, but a clone.
Yeah.
So the guys just have a lot more personality. They have a lot more stories around them, especially with what was the Dark Jedi Pong Krell?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Paul.
that guy was
What?
so obnoxious.
I have met the guy that designed Pong Krell.
All right. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he well, they're not together anymore, sadly. But yeah, when you first work for Lucasfilm, they have you design a Jedi, and they liked his design, my friend's husband, so much they added him into the show. And then of course they didn't tell him that he was going to be mean, and then he watched the episode and he was like, "Oh, they made my Jedi bad." Like, what happened?
Well, he's got 2 double-bladed lightsabers.
Yep, 4 double-bladed lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He basically just tells the clones, he's like, I don't care if you die, just like die. You know, and they're like, dude, what the hell, man? You like don't care about our like livelihood at all. Like this is a bad idea. He's like, are you violating orders, clone? I'm like, man, this guy is clonist. It's a serious.
He is.
clonist.
But
Uh-huh.
it's an interesting aspect of like that sort of military style too, right? Like it's weird. I can't remember what show I've seen it in also, but seeing how like a general has such disregard for like, you know, the people underneath him is definitely something that we've seen in other TV shows of like, you know, militaristic style. I just feel like that's a really interesting story to cover because it's happened before, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, also just like in the workplace too, just like a really like, you know, ignorant boss who doesn't care
True.
about the well-being of his you know,
Just employee numbers.
subordinates. So, yeah. It's I should go back and rewatch Clone Wars. It's been long enough. I think that it's time to go back. I finished Rebels not too long ago. Overall mixed. Like I enjoyed certain parts of it. I feel like Clone Wars is more strong moments than Rebels, but character-wise, like they both have some. You know, the characters in Rebels are pretty good. So, but moments like this in Clone Wars, I feel like stand out a lot. These are strong episodes, and I think something worth mentioning, I mean, we all kind of know this already, but what makes Clone Wars so interesting to me is that they really push the uniqueness and the like identities and personalities of clone troopers, where the original movies, the, you know, episode 2 and 3 are all just about obedient soldiers who are warriors and have no personality and no dimension. So I think maybe some people were a little surprised to see that they would give some clone troopers like such, like Gregor comes to mind. Like Gregor's kind of like, he's out there, man. But it's cool. I mean, why not? You know, they might be a clone, but there's no reason not to not have them be interesting, and that's the whole purpose of why they made the show. So
that goes back to nature versus nurture. Just different experiences change people's lives.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly. All right, you guys, it's time to do the thing. It's time to talk about X-Wing. Here we go. All right. Well, lots of news again for Star Wars X-Wing. I'm gonna start a new poll here in a moment. Random order after dials is like going to happen. It is confirmed. There was a lot of ambiguity about it. I blame AMG for not just being clear with us in the first place. I think that kind of added a little bit of salt to the wound for the people that are being the most salty, because their communication is like a D- grade. They just don't do a good job communicating about X-Wing. So what we're gonna do tonight, you guys, is we're gonna list build. We'll talk about that in a second, but I am gonna open the poll now, talking about random order after dials here, and list building. So the poll is going to ask you guys how you feel about how list building will look after Road and, you know, the rest of the rules are finalized and officially entered into the rule book. So will Road boost or hurt list building? 1, boost it, aka make it better. 2, hurt it. Or 3, like, unclear. You just don't feel comfortable making a guess. So do you think it'll make list building better, worse, or you don't know? I'm genuinely curious. Please, everybody who plays X-Wing that is watching, please vote. 1, 2, or 3. 1 being will help, 2 being will hurt, 3 being unsure.
Gucci 555s, I see it. Yep. We're the only
unsure.
ones. We're the only ones.
Yeah, I think a lot of there's still. I mean, Drew. I know that. First of all, one more shout out to Drew. Drew has been very positive about this. And I know that some people who have been positive have been like, no, you're wrong, and like, shut the hell up, and like, you're lame. Drew's not like that. He's trying to help people see the light. For me, it's hard. I'm 50-50. Like, I'm not super excited, but I also think it could be way worse. But I'm unsure. Like, I don't know how excited to be, and I don't know how paranoid and like cryptic I should be about this. Go ahead.
There's the other thing though, Nick. Like, no one really talks to me about it anymore because I pull out my like silver miniature spray can, and I grab them vigorously and I spray the inside of my mouth and I yell into their face, "Witness me!" And they don't talk to me about Road anymore. So, man, I didn't even get like a smile from you guys. What the?
What do you mean? I'm smiling right now.
Nope, yep. That's just, I love it, man. I think it's great, and I
witness me.
Witness me.
We're all Road warriors now,
That's
man.
anyone that badmouths someone else for liking Road, I say mediocre and just move on with my life.
Greg saying getting rid of bidding helped lists, getting rid of skill disincentive. Okay, so this is where Drew, don't interrupt me. Getting rid of skill disincentivizes list building. It's best to bring just as many red dice as you can. Well, let me read a couple more comments and then we'll respond. Sure. Mystic, I can live with it, but bumping actions and range 0 shooting may kill me. That is being tested. They have not said that they're willing to add that to the rules at this time. Yep. Again, I don't know, AMG's playbook with communicating. It's not good. It's probably, the playbook doesn't exist. It's yet to be written. But they have not like doubled down on that. They just mentioned it, which was a bad idea. Like, mentioning it was a bad idea because that stream was just a clusterfuck. It was a lot. And then glad bidding is gone. Yeah, I could agree with that. Bidding was definitely, I see it more. The longer time has passed since we had bidding, I can see why it was more and more problematic. When I list built with aces, I had to bid because I was told in this game, you need to care about it. It's not like something that I wanted. It was like, you need to be conscious of how many points of a bid you have with this list. Anyways, Drew, your response to what Greg said. I can read it again out loud if you want me to say it again.
Oh, is it the skill one?
Getting rid of bidding helps lists. Getting rid of skill disincentivizes list building, and it's best to just bring as many red dice as you can.
I mean, I just want to know where the skill in his brain was surgically removed. Like, I've had skilled players being like, "Oh, there's no skill in the game anymore." Like, "Oh, all my skill is gone." Like, it just removes your skill, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, "What? Like, where does it? I know, it's an infinite rabbit hole, right? Like, Nick, when we were first talking about Road, and we mentioned it last time, 2 weeks ago. There were people posting photos around of like, excuse me, what do you do in this situation, right? Like, what do you do this? And I was looking at a lot of those photos and a lot of these, what is it? Specific scenarios
the
that
game
were given
scenarios.
others. Yeah, the game scenarios. And I was like, you know what? If I was playing with Road, I probably wouldn't have flown those ships in that way. And I think that the players who were even playing games and like taking those photos, if they played with Road a little bit more, they wouldn't be in those same positions. It's a totally different game. But I mean, yeah, there's the argument goes both ways. That's why we're sitting here having the conversation, right? So I just think it's funny when someone's like, "Oh, all my skill is gone," and I'm like, "What happened? Like, are you missing an arm? Like, I can get you a red one, C3PO, right? Like, it's not like."
I have a response to that, but I want to loop Scott in on this. What do you think?
Yes, please, Scott. So please to give us your thoughts.
It's going to take some changes, for sure. I definitely think list building will be slightly different, but I don't think it's going to be gone by any means. It's not just going to be 5 X-Wings wins every game just because it can go one straight and hopefully get a red focus.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about why that's a bad idea in a second. My response to the whole skill thing is, Drew, what I think is important context that you, as someone that's played X-Wing even longer than I have, this, is that X-Wing for up to this point for 8 years has been operated with specific information. Yep. Players have made decisions based on what they see. And this has been completely turned over.
Hold on, not based on what they see, based on what they know, right?
Right.
Now,
but that's what I'm saying, though. They see that a ship has moved.
No,
they
but
see that.
Yes, that's what I want to touch down upon too, because I tell people this a lot. Like, it's perfect information, right? People are upset that they're losing perfect information, and people go, "Well, there's a bid, right? Like, it's random initiative." Like, but what I say to them is that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is playing a match. You know that your Poe or your Fen Rao is going to move before or after someone else's Initiative 6, right? So on engagement, one of the two of you is always going to move first, and the second one is always going to move second, right? That, to me, is perfect information. You know how this works. We've been doing this for 8 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can have this conversation for, when we have. But at the same time, the people that have been first player being first player is not as bad as AMG has made it out to be. I will die on that hill. There are situations where it's very bad for you, but people that play Poe, people that play Fen, the people that like the non-Imperial aces out there have gotten by perfectly fine without a bid, and while being first player. I like the idea of fluid first player, like passing it, moving it around during the game. I think the order matters here. There's a little uncertainty now. I think that's intentional. They say, hey, it's a dogfighting game. You're not supposed to know if that person's going to bank left or going to hard one or going to fly over you. Yeah, I understand that. I just think that it's going to take a long time for people to adjust, because in this game there are 2 true outcomes, at least from what I see. There are the people that just joust, and there are the people that jockey for an engagement. And I don't see a lot of, like, in casual games you get that middle ground where you have people kind of like try to line up something and then they kind of bail out or they re-engage or something. But I see a lot of those 2 true outcomes. So the people that care the most are the people that like to jockey for positioning and for that ideal engagement. That's the AMG called them out directly and is like, we don't like toilet bowling. We don't like the idea of a tower defense game, which is not the best analogy because I don't see tower defense a lot in X-Wing, but I understand what they mean.
Not anymore, yeah. And it was weird for them to say that because I feel like with 2.0, that's not really a thing. But at the same time, I mean, it kind of was in the very beginning, and then it certainly was a thing in 1.0, and so it really caught me off guard when they said that too. I was like, whoa, like, wait, how long have they been playing the game for, right? Like, hold on.
And one of them admitted that he hasn't played 2.0. until recently, which is
yep.
terrifying.
I was like, don't say that on the stream. Why?
I do. Again, I know I'm over talking and I'm talking over Scott, which Scott's going to start our list building here in a second. But one more thing I need to respond to. David earlier said, how do you expect AMG should communicate? AMG just shouldn't be like, hey guys, like stream was canceled, by the way, bomb drop, new rules, bye, and then go silent. Like they need to have somebody that is designated to posting updates, to posting about upcoming streams, being like, hey guys, we have a stream coming up next week. We're going to talk about new rules. We're going to talk about, the future of the game. And we look forward to having you guys as we play a game of X-Wing talking about these things. Instead, AMG kind of plays the reaction game where they kind of like, they don't do anything until they just react. They're like, someone messages them, hey, are there new rules coming out next week? And they'll respond into Facebook saying, oh yeah, there are actually coming out next week. But no one will have heard that until that person gets that Facebook message. There needs to be someone on top of this stuff that is playing proactive. And I don't think they have a big enough team to do it, but I think they need to be proactive about how they talk to us, because that's what makes things worse. How the responses, the reactions from the community get so bad because they bring Armada obstacles to the X-Wing game. That's frustrating. It catalyzes.
But that's a good thing, though, because they said that they weren't going to do Armada stuff anymore, but yet there's Armada stuff on his desk, which means that they're doing Armada stuff, which is really good, because Armada's a great game. I'm sad that we're not getting anything. But no, I thought it was funny, too, when he did it, and I was like, oh my god, man, I know that, they knew that they were going to get heat for doing all this. And then bringing the Armada thing, mentioning that the one guy hasn't played X, I was like, "Come on, guys! Like, I'm trying to defend you here, right? Like, I can only do so much."
And it's just like the bad communication, the lack of understanding of parts of the game, like flying over or a debris cloud, trying to take an action, you're already double stressed or you're already stressed. There are moments that like I understand why people are so angry, because it feels a little insulting. Because the people that are changing core fundamentals of the game appear, not saying they don't understand the game, but appear not to understand those core fundamentals of the game. And so I think we need to be able to get on the same page with them. I think they have a lot of work to do and kind of earning their way to that point, but we need to be more fair with responding to things. And that's kind of what I'll leave it to. Yoda Taco, I'm pretty sure the people who immediately love the new road rules and are happy about the proposed rule changes have the list and play styles that aren't affected. I mean, there is a lot of confirmation bias right now.
I wanted to. Can I touch upon that real quick? Yeah. I wanted actually to. So Yoda Taco, and Nick is my witness, and Scott, we'll just say you're a witness too, because it's true. Yeah.
Scott, you're a witness. Witness me.
Nick and I, the list that I'm running now, and the list that I have been building, I haven't been building them differently for Road. And I mean, I feel like it's more about flying with Road is the differences rather than list building. But that's a good segue into what we're just about to do, because there are things that Nick and I are going to talk about, and I'm sure, Scott, you'll agree that we're like, okay, if these are the changes, this is like some upgrades are way more money than other upgrades, so.
I don't know what we can do, but just have to run a different community rule set. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if it proves to be bad and AMG doesn't budge, then we are going to see some people branch off and host different rule events, which is kind of like not, that's a bummer, but everyone's within the right to do what they want to do, so you gotta remember that.
Right.
Damn, you're always fun for me, always for fun with me. Yeah, and I mean, Colfax plays pretty casually and he's not excited about it. I mean, again, I think another part of it is people, like Scott, I'm curious if you believe the same thing. Those that have tested it, they'll be like, I thought it was fun, and they might have had a game where they were second player the entire game, or they were first player in all the key moments that were really good for them, and then they're like, I enjoyed it because it worked out for them. Do you feel like confirmation bias plays a role in people's, like, the way they've gauged this so far, or do you think people are being objective about this?
Confirmation bias is always something that's going to creep in if someone's not careful about actually looking for it, I find.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's like someone's like, I played Road today. It was awesome. And then you find out that they had one initiative overlap, and it was like a Skurg and an Interceptor. Yep. And it's like, what? Like, that's not cool. But like, I wasted my time reading about this because it didn't matter. Greg's saying, I think that matters because when we talk about efficiency with road, it's pretty much from the perspective of trying to win. If you're only ever playing for fun and loop gunnering, it really doesn't matter. Yeah. We have much more to talk about, but Scott, you're going to take us away here with our first
Well, hold
list.
on. I want to why don't we start off with this? So, Scott, I got a question for you. This was from Nickel City as well. For list building, are we going to start with building competitively, or are we building for fun? What do you want to do?
Because Scott plays competitive, right? Would you consider yourself a competitive player?
I would say I do play competitively. I have been known to play a few janky lists, but I generally like to fly what I like, and it's usually good meta relevant stuff.
Okay. So we're building competitive then. I like that.
I think I might be able to speak for all of us when we say that we build lists that have the chance of winning, but we don't build purely as like a net listing kind of approach. Like, we don't build a totally jank list that like seems fun, has silly synergies, but probably is really bad. Like, we build a list with the intention of it having a good chance to win. Maybe not the best, but a good enough chance because it's more fun when you can win. That's how I list build. I think a lot of people list build that way. Most people.
Well, I mean, it's a game, right? So, like, obviously you want to have fun, but at the same time, what is the objective of the game, right? I mean, you want to win, right? So you should build something that can at least hold its own on the table, because you're not going to have fun if you fly like 6 Z95s and you just one forward yourself to supposed victory and then get popped like, you know, a teenager popping zits, right? Like, that's not fun. So
no. So our exercise, we'll move forward with our exercise tonight. Scott's gonna lead us off. So here's how we're gonna do this. So we are going to go. We're each gonna build a list, an ideal list that keeps road in mind. Okay. So please don't troll me and build a 7-ship vulture swarm. Let's do something that involves. Yeah, right. I mean, I guess you can, but it's not as interesting.
We're 7 vultures and factory drone with TA.
Yeah.
Really?
We're also not gonna operate under the assumption that the bumping and taking actions rule / shooting at range 0 rule will exist. We're gonna just build basically on what we know right now.
Excellent.
That is going to happen. So Scott, I have Yasby open. So let's do this. Which faction do you want to do? If you want to take a second to think about it, but we will kind of list build together.
3 options.
GSP style here.
I got Rebel, Imperial, or FO.
Do you want me to pick, or why don't you pick?
I've got lists for all 3 of them.
Okay.
I've got one for Scum. I'm staring at it. So
let's
I'm ready.
do. Why don't you do? Sorry, it was Rebel, FO, and Imperial. You said.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the Imperial one because I have a Rebel one.
Oh, and I have a Resistance one, so I think
Cool.
that's almost everything except for Separatists. Right?
Yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, so Empire. All right, let me go over to Empire. All right, start us off. Who is our first pilot?
So this is leaning into the mirror match of Initiative 1s, assuming that everyone's going to be flying Initiative 1s to try to go first and try to ignore road. So we've got Commandant Gorin and the TIE Interceptor.
Okay.
So we're just assuming we're bumping here, and we don't get focus tokens. So now we get focus.
And Gorin's ability, after a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 with a lower initiative than yours, and he's at an I4, partially executes a maneuver, it may perform a red focus action. That's the ability for Commandant Gorin. Initiative 4 Interceptor, and accompanied by...
4 Planetary Sentinel TIE Strikers.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Wampa.
Wampa!
So 4, you said 4 of them?
4 Strikers and Wampa.
And
just put Sense and preposition on everything.
Sense
done.
will be banned. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
They flat out said that anything that looks at a dial is most likely going to be banned, and I quote, like they said, probably going to get banned.
Yep.
TIE Fighter. Wampa. All right, and that rounds us out here. So this is you got a 1 point. You're gonna lose by 1 point, Scott.
I put the Ruthless.
1 point.
Either Ruthless or Composure.
Yep. Composure, I think.
It was like, oh, I feel the boost, I get a focus.
Yep.
All right. So,
but
this is
you do have a lot of hit points in the Strikers for Ruthless.
this is a good side of things though, because
the
we
ruthless
think about the
battle.
I4s who are probably going to be affected the most by this. Let's be honest, Initiative 4s are starting to get really, really popular in X-Wing, and now this is going to make things interesting. David said earlier that everyone's going to take Pattern Analyzer. 1, only a few factions take it, and 2, you still have to fully execute the red maneuver to be able to do that action. So, you know, you get bumped, and Pattern Analyzer is not going to help. You'll just be stressed with no actions. To respond to Drew, I agree that it's not fun, but people play not fun lists to win all the time. Spam text.
True.
Yeah, this is a list that I don't really look forward to playing against. If I find out that a top player is, playing it, I'm like, well, I don't really.
Especially in
want to play against
person.
it. Yeah, in person you have, well, including Wampa, that is 6 3-dice guns. It's a lot of dice, and a lot of opportunities to ignore bumps. So,
And 10 maneuvers a turn.
yeah, so this is a list that is vulnerable to the initiative kill, but is going to not care about the mirror match. And that's the response to Road for Scott, at least for this first go around. So,
Hey, if it's not a
what do you
mirror
want
match,
to name it? Give me a pun. Give me a pun for this list.
strike hard, strike fast.
Cool, so that works. Strike hard, strike fast.
Or is it first? Whatever the Cobra Kai thing is.
Strike fast, strike hard. I feel like strike hard, strike fast. I feel like
Yeah.
that's it. All right, Drew, you have Scum.
I do. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with Boba Fett in the fire spray.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, we were talking about this. I had a friend of mine send me this after we talked about it, and I was like, "Oh God."
All right.
All right,
My
so
boy
Boba Fett. We've got Connor nets on
Okay.
Boba Fett.
Cool. Connor
We
Net.
then
Sorry,
have-
I struggle to see with this monitor. Here we go.
Yep.
Connor
We
Nets.
then you're all good. Then we have hull upgrade.
Okay.
Then we have the-
Modification.
The 3-point Slave 1 title.
Okay, so the not so good title.
The not so good title.
Down here. Yes.
And then
Not so
we are
good.
gonna take Han Solo Gunner.
Okay. Does that give you the gunner? It does.
It does, yeah. The bad title.
That's
gives
why
the
you
Gunner.
take the bad title.
Yeah. Yep. 13-point Han Solo, like it. And then Boba Fett's new favorite upgrade with Road or with bumping, overtuned modulators.
Oh yeah, the illicit slot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Scott about this. It's only 3 points. So
Yep.
overtuned modulators. During the system phase, if you are not stressed, you may spend 1 charge to gain 3 calculate tokens. During the end phase, if your charge is inactive, for each green token you remove, gain 1 strain token. So that it can include other green tokens if for some reason you have more than just tokens to calculate. It's like
That is correct.
If
That
for
is
some
correct.
reason you do.
Yep.
So I had a game at a tournament where I had played Doug Howe, who had dash, who he used this and didn't get to spend any of his calculates, and it was triple strained and died from a proton torpedo because of it.
Oh, that's
So that's
lovely.
the downside. There's a heavy downside, but yeah, this is a boba that, I mean, doesn't get to change directions. Would you put Fearless on him, or are you keeping it at that?
No, we're keeping it at that because his 92-point female assassin buddy is pretty
Ketsu?
souped up too. No, it would be Guri.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Guri. Got it.
Oh,
Cool.
of course it's Guri. Yeah.
Guri's
So-
definitely affected by the no bidding thing, but
Yeah.
she's gotten cheaper, and she's not bad by any means, but she isn't, so easy to navigate. She's a challenge.
True. I feel like she's built in Road because if she bumps someone, she gets a focus token anyways.
So give me the upgrades, the 32 points of upgrades.
Yeah, 32 points of upgrades. You ready for this? So Predator. A lot of people like to run not Predator. They like to run outmaneuver, but we're gonna run Predator.
Okay.
We're then gonna run the Virago title.
Sure. Give that extra shield. Give the red.
And then of course, as I'm sure Scott's
Virago
waiting for it, he's like, you can't run Guri without prime.
Title.
What's it called?
guys.
Prime
Yeah,
thrusters?
I can't read. Here we go.
Oh, you could take optics.
Oh, you could take optics or pattern analyzer. So we're taking prime thrusters for a very specific reason, and then we have 2 mod slots. We're gonna take shield upgrade on one of them. Yep. And
Okay.
then of course, for our last 6 points, we're gonna give her afterburners.
All right.
So assuming Prime Thrusters is to work with the Virago
Oh,
title.
she thick.
Yes, exactly.
Yoda Taco is saying, so lists that don't care about bumping, have lots of firepower, and are okay. So Drew was just kind of taking out an insurance policy with this Boba Fett build.
Yep. Boba Fett and
There goes
Guri.
my light. Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and my
Ooh.
computer died. That powers my light. 1 second. Getting real roomy in here.
Ooh.
That's after
So, yeah,
after Dice.
So the Virago title, during the end phase, you may spend 1
All right,
charge,
we're back.
2 to perform a red boost action. You got-
Virago, shield upgrade, afterburners, 312 after dark always. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I do want to apologize because there have been like a few really frustrating little tech issues tonight. That it is what it is, but obviously I try to run the cleanest stream. Naturally, I can't. But
So
I do my best.
you don't have tissues next to your computer, right? So it's not gonna be too clean. But
I have tissues next to my computer for each AMG X-Wing stream that I watch.
that you cried
Savage.
in your tissue box.
Yeah,
I was like,
seriously.
oh, love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a friend sent this to me after the biggest thing about it was the Boba overtune modulators, right? Like on the turn that you know you're gonna get bumped, or the turn you know that does, at this point, right? You're trying to mitigate whether your opponent can capitalize on winning that initiative roll. And I think that both of these ships agree with the built-in focus being bumped at range 1 of an enemy, and then Boba Fett with overtuned.
Thanks, Colfax.
You have the ability to mitigate that as well. You don't give a crap if you bump, as long as you've got tokens to modify your dice and rerolls, right? So.
JP Moet seems like a fake name, but if you are legit, thanks for the follow. I don't know these days. I'm paranoid about everybody that follows because of all the bots out there these days. Drew, I feel like two ship lists are in a really tough spot these days. I don't know about two ship lists, even with this one, which seems like a lot of fun and can do a lot of things. Do you think it's enough firepower for the just 2 bodies? Can it be done?
It depends on the pilot, I feel like, and I do kind of feel you. I personally feel like 2 ship lists aren't really a thing anymore. But you held a gun to my head and you gave me 2, and you said, give me a 2 ship list that was gonna do it. It would either be Boba Fenn with maybe a third Boba Fenn with maybe Seavor, if that's a possibility, or it would be Boba Gurry. So that was just
Seavor. I love him. So really cool so far. Scott's like, I won low initiative mirror match, dice, don't care about bumping, bitch, kind of list. And then Drew's like 2 I5s, 2 classics, 2 scummy ships that just all around the board, just flipping people off, taking damage or avoiding it, whatever happens. Let's see how it goes.
Yep.
If anybody wants to link to these lists, I'm gonna save them here. Steal our list. Here's mine. I'm gonna go with Rebels. Okay, so we're gonna start off with, this is a list that some of you guys have seen before. I actually played it for our road game against Drew. And we're doing high initiative aces for the Rebels. We're gonna start ourselves off with the RZ1 A-Wing. It's gonna be Ahsoka Tano. Okay, my favorite A-Wing pilot by far because of her flexibility. I think she's costed perfectly, and her ability is just good support. And she's self-sustaining as well, whereas Hera is more about giving other people things. Ahsoka can choose. So Ahsoka, she has 2 upgrades. She has extreme maneuvers in 1 force slot. That's 5 points, and then she has a procket. That is it. So 5 points in a procket. So can, good time on target if she needs to do that, link that hard 1 boost, has the 3 force, makes it something that she can do multiple times if she needs to over the course of a couple rounds. And then the procket makes her a little deadly. You can't just come up and try to bully Ahsoka because she can throw 5 dice at you, maybe double knot it, right? Accompanying her, it's going to be 2 T-65 X-Wings. Who could be in the X-Wings? Wedge Antilles is in the first one. Wedge is going to have R5 astromech and plasma torpedoes. So let me find the astromech. Sorry, I can't see again. That's why I'm struggling. So that is a 65-point wedge for a alpha strikey wedge that can also run away and fix some damage cards. That's a good price. I like it. I think it works. And he's an I6. Yoda Taco vectored cannons. No. The link boost. I know, I hear vectored cannons. I get it. You can run away, shoot behind you, but I like being able to link the boost. That's just something that I prefer. Some people like the vectored cannons. And then lastly, we have Luke Skywalker and the other T-65. Luke is by far the most expensive in this list, but the most survivable, if you factor in the regen droid. He also will have an R5 astromech, but he will have proton torpedoes instead of plasma torpedoes. So that is a 76-point Luke. 2 force, he gets one back every time he gets shot, and then he can run away, half force for defense, and spend his action to repair damage cards. So why is this a good road list? Because of Ahsoka. Okay, so Ahsoka can bail anybody, either of these two out with her ability. Yes, she has to fully execute the maneuver, but typically she isn't the one that is ahead of everybody. She's supposed to be behind these two. Luke can, handle not taking an action for a turn if he ends up bumping himself. Wedge can be bailed out. And fun thing about this list is if one of them gets ionized, after they move, Ahsoka can, if it's Luke, it's harder to do with Wedge because of the initiative, but Ahsoka can give Luke a boost or a barrel roll or another action after he's removed the ion token. So, because of the timing of ion, once you clear the ion token, you are no longer ionized, so you just have to have the ion ship clear the ion first, and then Ahsoka can go and give the action. So that's my list. It's a lot of fun, and also just giving the opportunity to double mod plasma torpedoes with Wedge is just really good. So, Drew's played against it. It's decent. It's
nasty, man. Yeah. I was my resistance list, Nick, is the one that I played against you, which I'm actually kind of not, happy to talk about. But we should circle back around. Scott, are you ready to give us your next list?
Yep.
It's one that we're all going to be familiar with. It just won Galaxies.
Okay.
And
I'm not familiar with Galaxies.
So you've got Breach with feedback.
First order.
Hoist order.
Greg said you'd switch to torpedoes. I just like the -1 agility with the plasmas for Wedge. Is kind of why I had plasmas on.
It's really good.
Yeah. Go ahead. So Breach with feedback ping.
Advanced torpedoes.
Which is, what slot is feedback ping again?
Talent.
It is a talent slot.
A talent, yeah, it's an elite talent. Yeah.
It kind of sounds like it'd be a tech, but it's talent.
Advanced torpedoes.
I feel like it should be a tech slot, but it doesn't make sense to me why it's
torpedo
not.
slot. There we go. Okay.
And then seismic charges and thermal detonators. I don't know what the second bomb was. It might have been prox mines or something, but
sorry, I clicked the wrong one. There we go.
With the seismic charges and the interesting. There was a list I liked that had
it was thermals,
cluster mines, and prox mines. Cool. Okay.
All right, and then we had it was Lieutenant Tafson, right?
Tafson with the sensor buoys.
The sensor buoys are nasty. They're a lot better than I thought they were.
They're a lot easier to kill since the clouds don't give them free evades anymore.
The buoys are what are we?
Tech.
Oh,
slot,
they're tech. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got Kylo with extreme.
Oh yeah. So we got the silencer Kylo because I think he's just better.
Yes.
Right? Even though he doesn't have free force with extreme maneuvers, that is his force upgrade slot.
Whisper Kylo is still good, but
I'm missing 3 points here. I think.
Seismic charges.
Was it
on Breach?
Oh, he had both thermals and seismics. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
So as we saw in Galaxies, the idea is you bomb Tavson either with thermals or seismics. Use it to coordinate. So like if Kylo goes second, bumps, you get your action, you get to reposition, and suddenly you're out of arc and shooting people.
It's pretty good. It's a simple list. Like you think about it, it just kind of you just have Breach and Tafson tag team. Tafson's terrifying. It's just really terrifying. You shoot at him too. It's just like, man.
You go for Kylo, he just squirrels away, and you got torpedoes and 4 dice primary shooting in the back.
I think Breach is the easiest one to kill, and then you have to find a way to get behind Tafson without Kylo cleaning up at that point. So it's the positioning game, right? shout out to Joel Springle, who played in that final game. Lost. Unfortunately, he made a calculated mistake. He thought he had room to fit a 4K with one of his 5 Jirax fighters, and it flew off the board really early. So he still fought tooth and nail there at the end, but just needed another ship to try to get the job done. So, but yeah, that was what was his name again? Who just won? Alex Mogensen, right? Is it Alex? Something Mogensen. Remind me, guys. But congratulations on winning Galaxy.
I don't know him. I'm sorry. I don't know who.
No, no worries.
I know the list is familiar now, Scott.
No worries. So, Drew, if you're cool with us leaving it at that, I think we should move on.
That's totally fine.
Cool.
Yeah, with the 7 factions and so many.
I know.
Lists,
yeah, we've talked a lot of X-Wing tonight. It's hard to not. I mean, we love X-Wing, so. But yeah, so I mean, we got a little bit of everything here. We got a good high initiative 3-ship list that has coordinating function. You have another one that's similar, but it's more alpha strikey with like the rebel list that I made. Drew, the 2-ship brawler list, and then the mirror match lower initiative list, Imperial list that Scott came up with. So basically, Road, passive mods. I'd say passive mods, coordinating ability, turrets, functions or abilities that don't care about bumping, especially if we need to take out an insurance policy with the potential rule changes. Hopefully not, but that seems to be the name of the game. Basically, anything that gets punished easily is going to have a tough time because that uncertainty is going to be just enough. No. Yeah. All right, you guys, let's move on. We get to talk about one of our favorite Jedi of all time. It's time to talk about Kenobi. Qui-Gon.
Very nice.
So let's. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put in the Kenobi animation, but I'm gonna do it now because it's so good. So
it's good.
And by good, I mean I put one thing in there that makes it good.
Deslin, I don't know if we have points yet for Fen Rao and the Fang Fighter next year, but if he's anywhere close to the Scum Fang Fighter, I mean, the world's your oyster, right?
I expect him to be like 65 or so, just a little cheaper.
A little cheaper, yeah, because his ability is definitely not as like killy as Scum version is, yeah.
Here we go.
But it should be pretty strong in Rebels.
Here we go. Kenobi, and I just added a hello there.
Hello there.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna talk about Kenobi. So, you guys remember Darth Maul like screamed like in I think it's Rebels, right? He's like Kenobi.
Kenobi.
Yeah. Oh, Maul. Didn't work out for him. So we were teased and told that we were gonna get a trailer. We never got a trailer for we got like a little something, a little tease, but we didn't get a trailer. I think there are two possibilities. One is more likely than the other. They're keeping it under wraps, which is what they do with almost every Star Wars project. The other is that they're not really there yet. They're like we don't have that that kind of thing to show you guys right now. Which one do you guys think it is? Like, do you think they're ready to show us something by now, or?
I know some inside information, Scott. So if you wanna jump in first.
Do we know when it's coming out yet?
We don't know.
Then I think they just don't have anything ready for us, so they're just trying to keep it hush until they get closer to release, so that people are aware it's coming out, but they aren't going to start building hype until closer to the actual date.
Yeah, I think they announced the order of like this would come out after this. Like it's obviously going to come out after Book of Boba Fett, but no release date.
They and you can hear Ewan talk about it too when in any of the interviews that he's done since the show has been announced. They actually had to go back and rewrite a big portion of it. They took the whole thing back to the drawing board. So I do completely agree with you guys. I think that they finally have something that they like, and they're just starting to film it. They don't have enough finished to show us something that looks good, but we do have the concept art, which looks great. There's spoiler alert, the guy standing next to him as we're watching on Nick's video feed here is training again, which we see, which is really cool. So yeah, forward to it.
It's obviously from all the Star Wars. I just looked up Kenobi stuff, so all the best of Kenobi. There were some issues with production. They had to delay it. I remember hearing about them kind of what seemed like a delayed indefinitely thing back in LVO 2019, when they were like or actually no, sorry, 2020, because technically LVO happened
Yes.
right before COVID, 2020, and they're like, oh yeah, they're delaying, they're not ready to shoot or whatever. I'm like, damn, like, is this gonna happen? Obviously, it's an important project everyone wants. They actually want, unlike Solo, this is something everyone wants. So, just had to give my little shot at Solo there, but yeah, I don't know why everyone had the consensus that there was going to be some sort of official trailer release, like as if Disney or Star Wars had announced that it was going to happen. We're just not there yet. So there is a poll in the chat. Are you going to watch this on release day? Everyone's saying yes so far. I will try my best. Probably will. But yeah, I don't know if so. We're probably going to go about, just heads up, guys. We have giveaways and everything else, but we're going to go probably 10-15 minutes over our usual because we started just a little late. So. I'm gonna ask for each of you guys for just a couple of points of speculation, 1 or 2. So Scott, any speculation of what we're gonna see here, if you had to take some shots in the dark for
the Obi-Wan versus Vader is either going to be a Force vision or something that happens through the Force, not them actually fighting each other in person. Otherwise, their dialogue in Episode 4 will make no sense.
I'm a little worried about that because I don't know if they're actually gonna care. So we've already had issues with consistency of Luke between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. So we'll see if they keep things honorable to what we've known and what we've heard. But I'm not sure. I think that would be cool if it was a Force vision or if it was a flashback to just that same fight.
In Rebels, they definitely made sure to make sure that Luke was the only Jedi. So Yoda's comment that you last of the Jedi, you will be, so the thing, which is why I expected Kanan to die at some point during the series.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Drew, speculation time.
Yeah, my speculation. So they don't really ever hint upon this, but a lot of the Inquisitors seem to be gone by the time Rebels happens. So my speculation is the reason why they're all gone is because of Obi-Wan, which I think is a pretty neat concept and an interesting idea. Some of the concept art has what looks to be an Inquisitor on it already. So that's my hot take, is I think that Obi-Wan is going to be the downfall of the Inquisition. Behind the scenes and stuff, but I mean, he's got to stay on Tatooine looking after Luke, but clearly not with all the shots of all the planets that we saw. I was like, oh, yeah. I guess he's just gonna travel everywhere now. Like,
I think I don't even know. So this is more uncertainty, but I speculate that there's going to be like that Obi-Wan, like there's not going to be as much action, I think, as people hope for. I think there's going to be enough that's reasonable. Ewan's aged, he's still got it, but he's obviously much older now. And Obi-Wan in A New Hope, which this isn't supposed to take place too long before, he's Alec Guinness. So how is Tatooine, how has age served him? Is it going to be more accurate to what we would expect? Or is it going to be kind of like this action-y, adventure-y thriller, even though he's supposed to be just watching over Luke? Like, I speculate that they're going to try to embed as much action as they can, and I don't know how they're going to make that work. But either way, I love Ewan McGregor. I mean, I saw Christopher Robin just to see him, and I ended up loving that movie. It's a good movie. He's just a great actor. So I'm happy to see him reprise the role, and I think he is going to face off with Inquisitors, and that's exciting. Like, that would make total sense to me. But you'd think Vader would have heard of that. Like, hey, we've made contact with Obi-Wan fucking Kenobi on Tatooine. Trilla is dead. Sega's dead. Nai's dead.
It's interesting though, Scott, that you bring it up, because he does mention in were you talking about in episode 4 when he says, I haven't felt that presence since, and then he turns around and walks away, because Vader doesn't really give us a time frame since the last time he felt Obi-Wan's presence, which I think is a nice little Easter egg into, like, oh, did Vader actually know that Obi-Wan was alive? And like,
since yesterday, since 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So when they do fight, though, he does say, "When I last left you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master."
Yeah. In the Arlnauts edit of these movies on YouTube, he's like, "Last time my dad fought you, you was so bad your arms fell off, or no, your legs fell off." And he's like, "Shut up, man!"
Yeah, that's
So good. Yeah, man. I'm excited. I would just like, don't hold your breath. Like, I don't think they're in any rush to get this done, and it doesn't sound like they're 100% confident what they have right now. I mean, I think we're in good hands, but Disney hasn't 100% proven themselves. They're still kind of, they're rolling things forward in a better way than they were originally, right? A Mandalorian is a success. It's great. It's a hit. Rebels was pretty good, and then we have a sequel trilogy, Polarization. We have Solo, which is meh. Rogue One's a hit. So we got some duds in there. So I don't know what to expect, but you just be patient. Gain that deplete token, recover that force. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right, back to topics. We're actually going to talk now about Drew likes dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
It's time to talk about dinosaurs again. Again, Scott actually recommended this one, and I was like all for it immediately. Drew, what are we talking about?
All right, so we're talking about the Megalodon today, guys and gals, and I apologize too. And this is actually one of my facts, one of my 10 facts about this creature. It actually wasn't alive during the time of the dinosaurs, so we're kind of stepping out of the boundaries here.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
But isn't it considered prehistoric though?
It is absolutely prehistoric.
Okay, so maybe that's the boundary. I don't know.
Sure. So I've got 10 facts. Are 10 cold facts? Are you guys ready for them?
Cold hard facts.
Cold hard facts, exactly.
It's for cold hard facts.
All right. So the first thing, actually, I've got 11 for you because this is the most interesting.
Oh man.
A lot of people have wondered, and Nick, you have photos of this too. Why do we just have the jaw of the Megalodon? Like, when you look at bones, that's all we have. It's just the jaw. It is because of the type of material that shark bones are made of, or at least, I guess they're all sort of like a subspecies of shark. The jaw is the only part of the creature that like truly calcifies. Everything else breaks down. And so it took paleontologists years to realize that it was actually an animal, because all they found were its teeth and its jawbones, and they were like, what is this? Like, where's the rest of it? Like, we don't have the rest of this creature. So that is me pulling it from the top of my head.
Yeah,
based off
massive
of the,
jaw too. I mean, it can be like up to 60 feet, right? Maybe bigger.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how fucking cool would it be if this thing, like, man, people would not even look at the sea if they knew for a fact that these things were around still. Like,
Absolutely. All right, so fact number 10. The word megalodon is derived from Greek meaning giant tooth. The shark's full scientific name is, okay, I'm probably gonna mispronounce this. Carchacolis megalodon. So that's the first fact. Second fact, the megalodon was the largest fish that ever lived. The largest individual measured up to 58 feet and 7 inches, or even larger. They're still not particularly sure, but that's about 3 times as big as the largest sharks in the ocean today. So I guess it would be the largest shark. Well, I guess it makes sense because whales aren't technically fish. So it is Megalodon is the largest fish that ever lived. They roughly needed to eat, for the 8th fact, 2,500 pounds of food per day. And this is actually one of the key features as to why they probably died out, is because as the world began to change, their food source shrunk, or was also became extinct.
Yeah.
And they
need a big food.
Yeah, they need a lot of food, a lot of big food. And the other issue is too, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but sharks don't generally eat other sharks. They will stay away from their own dead creature, like themselves, essentially. And I don't think that I think they won't eat them, even if that's like all there is to eat. And so they also theorize that this might also be a reason why they went extinct, because they only eat other things that aren't other sharks. Another interesting fact, number 7.
I think they could get bigger than 60 feet, Greg. He says whale sharks are 60 feet. How big was it in feet? I think the average, like, I'm not sure. They speculate that they like got up to 100, but I don't know if they can prove that.
Yeah, the fact that I have here says up to 58 feet and 7 inches, or even larger than that.
Yeah, right. There's just like uncertainty about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the whale shark is not considered a shark.
Yeah, it's a whale, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
technically
it's not
be
a shark.
mammal. Yeah.
It's just confusing as to why they call it a whale shark.
Also true. All right, so fact number 7. Most fish are exclusively cold-blooded, but Megalodon may have been like today's great white sharks, which are actually considered partially warm-blooded because of the heat they generate while swimming. This would have allowed Megalodon to hunt in colder waters and have like a wider predatory range of hunting, which is kind of super interesting. Fact number 6, female Megalodons may have been about twice as large as males. So, was it 58 feet to like, I don't even, that's pretty huge.
Chad's saying whale shark is a shark, Drew.
Oh, there it is. Oh, don't hurt me. Yoda Taco. Thank you, sir.
Don't let the shark to move the whale shark.
So infant megalodons, they estimate to be at least about 6 feet long from nose to tail. So they were like bigger than I. They're taller than I am and bigger than I am when they were born. Because of its size, Megalodon was an apex predator in the ocean. It preyed upon fish, whales, dolphins, seals, and other marine animals. Pretty much anything that was smaller than it. Maybe other than sharks, I'm not too sure. But that is the theory. Fourth fact, and here's the thing, Nick, and Scott, I mentioned it before. Even though Megalodon and dinosaurs are both extinct, they never coexisted together, and this is something that I didn't know actually until tonight. The dinosaurs died out about 66 million years ago. Megalodons arrived later. The oldest Megalodon fossils are from the Miocene epoch, which began 23 million years ago. So... Wow,
that's a significant amount of time.
Yeah, that is a significant amount of time for them to show up. And I what is it? You guys, oh my god, what was it called? The movie was called Lake Placid, with like the prehistoric alligator that like was still around. I thought that like Megalodon and that thing were still around with the dinosaurs. We know that the alligator was, but I was so certain that the Megalodon was also around with the dinosaurs. So very interesting.
Man, I can't believe like 23 million years ago.
I know it is so.
Oh, that's so long ago. I wish it were more. I wish it were only like a few thousand years ago that we had these things.
Just think about all those nights, Nick, as a kid that you could have stayed up all night, like thinking about the difference in that time, like how much the Earth has changed in between those. It's also true, Yoda Taco. A lot of dinosaurs, the dinosaurs that we've talked about actually, have existed in completely different periods, not next to each other. Right. All right, so I've got 3 facts left, real quick. All right,
go for it.
Fossil remains of the Megalodon have been found off the coast of every continent except for Antarctica, which is interesting because they are theorizing whether or not it was actually warm-blooded or not. Between 2007 and 2009, researchers collected a number of juvenile Megalodon teeth in the waters off of the coast of Panama. They believe this was an ancient nursery area for the species. Pretty interesting.
Yoda Taco earlier mentioned it's like, I already hate the sea. If I knew those things were in the water, I'd nope out real fast. Yep. Yeah, man, you'd have to disengage after you roll those 3 dice, get out of there.
Yeah, right, exactly. Oh, so interesting. So I mentioned that their bones their bones were not able to be like fossilized.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the facts. This goes to show you how much I read this before we started. Since sharks don't have bones, most of what we know about Megalodon come from their large fossilized teeth. The largest Megalodon tooth ever found was 6 inches and 9 centimeters. no, 6.9 inches long. That's almost 3 times longer than the average tooth of a modern great white shark.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's some of the teeth right there.
absolutely.
Big teeth.
And the last fact, with a mouth nearly 10 feet wide, Megalodon may have had the most powerful bite of any creature that has ever existed on Earth. But we don't really know because all we have are their jawbones, and that's
Very
it.
cool. That was Drew Likes Dinosaurs. So, really quick, let me go find. There we go. We got memes now. Drew, thank you so much for breaking that down. Scott, did you want to add anything about the Megalodon? Because I feel like
Yeah, you
we
gave
didn't
it
get
to us,
anything
so
from you for that one.
what has always drawn you to it, or something that you thought of?
I've always just been a big water sea guy I do whitewater canoeing, and I've always been interested in naval history more than land history, so I just like to see.
So cool. Of course. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if that predator existed, I think the reason why, talk about like the biggest, like, was it the biggest shark ever? Maybe not, because the whale shark, right? But it's definitely the biggest like predator.
Predatory. Yeah, the biggest predator, absolutely.
And
But there's
that's
the thing. If it did exist, Nick, our world would be different. We'd have larger animals like that more around us. And so I feel like maybe, obviously, we'd be very scared of it. But at the same time, like,
Where we'd adapt.
yeah, did you hear about the, Scott, I'm sure you heard about it. The guy that was swallowed whole by a whale? He was in the whale for like, was it a day? Or like 12 hours or something? And the whale spat him up. But he survived because the whale didn't even know he swallowed him.
Wait, how did he survive?
So he was in, I believe he was scuba diving, and he got caught in a school of fish or a school of plankton. He was in the school when the whale just came up and ate him. And the whale just opens his mouth and just goes straight by. And the guy got stuck inside the whale's mouth. I can't remember what he did to stay alive, but he modified his breathing apparatus, and the whale eventually spat him back out. But he was in there, like, he's got PTSD, he was in there for so long, it was so dark, like, hearing him talk about it.
What?
Yeah, so, but there's the thing, if the Megalodon existed, I'm almost positive that we would have stories of, like, oh yeah, it just opens its mouth, and you just go in, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're just engulfed. Absolutely engulfed.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's insane.
While we talk about memes and stuff, I'll find the story and I'll post it in the chat.
Cool. Sounds good. We're gonna do our memes of the day. We've got some good memes. Brought to you by the community. Brought to you by, some of them, me as well. I feel like there's more me in this one, but they're good memes. I promise you. Okay. Maybe you guys are like, I'll be the judge of that. All right.
It's
First
the
meme
memes.
from Captain America. The CEO of IKEA was elected as the Prime Minister of Sweden. Really? What's he doing now? Assembling his cabinet. And just being absolutely destroyed, is assaulted for that joke. Incredible joke. So good. Top two. That's an S tier meme right there. Our next meme. I love this format. So anyway, Palpatine executes Order 66, and Cody, my bro, tells me to blast him. Him being General fucking Kenobi. So get this, Kenobi's a cool dude. I can't kill one of my bros, so I purposely missed the show.
That's actually pretty good.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, that poor woman. I feel.
Yeah.
Great meme though. It's an old one too. I think that's like an Astros game from 10, 15 years ago. Here we go. Lawyer, my client is trapped inside a penny. Judge, what? Lawyer, he's innocent. Judge, you're going to jail with him.
That last line got me. You're going to jail with him. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, guilty. Everyone's guilty.
My
Dad joke's guilty.
My coworkers, when we tell bad jokes like that, there's one person, she's the one that calls all of us. She'll hang the phone up. She'll just hang us all up. Like, no, you don't get to talk anymore.
This one's really good. The Wi-Fi password's on the back of the router, the password, and it's just like Poggle the Lesser going. Oh man. Lastly, we actually got two more. Here we go. Customer, this sandwich sucks. Subway employee, hold on. This whole operation is your idea.
So I'm reading the article that I just posted for the Cape Cod Times. It was a lobster diver who got swallowed by a whale for about 30 to 40 seconds. And the whale almost immediately was like, I don't like what's in my mouth. And he started
wait, 30 to 40 seconds,
yeah.
not a day.
I know. I thought
12
it was
hours.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's still terrifying, but man,
so
that would have been
dramatic. I apologize.
No,
man.
it's okay, but like, what a story that would have been. I mean, no one survives like being in a whale. Like, I think he just gets swallowed. Like,
Right.
yeah, had to feel like a day, right? All right, and lastly, here we go. Very basic one. We got R2 beer 2.
This is my
R2
favorite.
beer 2. Anybody got R2 beer 2 at home? Anybody?
Narp. Not a big drinker.
Fair enough. Yeah, beer's not for everyone either. All right, you guys. It's that time of the night. As we wrap up here, we will do our giveaways. Let me have Greg kind of play us out here for our giveaways. We'll move our slider first. Go to our giveaways. Here we go. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Well, here. I got the animation right here. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Giveaways. Oh, my God. Try this again. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I have to go to the topic screen for this? I don't know my own stream anymore, guys. I don't know where anything is. There we go.
I was gonna ask you, Nick, what are we doing, man? You're like transporting us everywhere.
Know what time it is? It's that giveaway time.
Oh,
Nick
man.
gonna give us some free
I'm
shit.
so tired, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. All right, yeah, Greg, thank you again for making me that. We'll do one more time because we just love hearing it.
Know what time it is? It's that giveaway time. Nick gonna give us some free shit.
All right, I have free shit for you guys. So, for our giveaways, I will roll to the giveaway screen really quick. I got this X-Wing stuff. I have List Chaos stickers I will be giving away soon, but I want our League players to get those first. They're so small, but they look great. A couple more Bosks, all right? A couple more of the Polaroo Boss from our last League. I got 2 of these, and then I have 3 of the 312 Squadron templates. The one straight marker template, utility template.
Ooh, those
So
are good.
we'll do the boss cards first. I got Nightbot right in front of me. At least know where that is. All right. So the first boss card winner is Greg, Nickel City X-Wing. Greg, I don't think you have a boss. Would you like the boss? Let me know if you want me to re-roll it. Then the second winner is Drew. Would you want to re-roll it? You played in our
I
league,
got
didn't
one
you?
too. I've got one, yeah.
Colfax. Don't you have one, Colfax?
Uh-oh. What about Scott? Do you have this stuff?
I'm pretty sure I also
You want
got one last year.
Okay.
Last season.
I think you do.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, Greg and Colfax are the winners. You guys, feel free, obviously, to give it to somebody that you know would use it. Exclamation point win. Send me that email. And then we have the templates. So, winner of the templates. If you guys haven't typed in the chat and you want a chance to win one of these, I'll give you a moment now to type. Be active in the chat here to have a chance to win. You love to give. Awesome, cool. I will definitely. Send
It's my favorite thing to do. Hard facts.
Let's go templates. All right, 3 of them tonight. First winner is Psionic Rain. Congratulations. Just type exclamation point win. Send me an email with your address and what you want. The second template. David Zumo.
I believe the line is yippee.
Yippee.
Not we.
A we. And then Ladrion. All right, those are the 3 for the templates. You misplaced yours. Oh no, well, this might. He said he wins it. You're very fortunate. All right.
Wow.
Let's go back to the 3 of us here. All right, you guys. Well, Drew, glad you were able to make it, man. It's great to have you, as always. Scott, thanks, man, for being here. Thanks for your time.
But fun.
Great in the shirt. Hopefully you had a good time. I apologize to everyone for the little minor technical issues that we had tonight.
It's my fault.
Well, there's a lot. You're good. There's a lot of it. In OBS, when you have a lot of things going on, it can be a little disorienting. / things might break. So sometimes OBS will fail me. But we powered through, and everything worked out just fine. A couple of things, guys. So the 312 show would not be the 312 show without my co-host, because Drew is enjoying himself in sunny Hawaii. The next time we would be doing our 312 show in 2 weeks, we will be postponing our final episode of the season, our 6th and final episode, until a month from now. Okay, that's when we will be back. We'll do a holiday final stream. Hopefully you guys will be here, celebrate that, to kind of celebrate the growth of our channel here, the success of, I think, what this ended up being a great, fun, good success. This experiment, it's been a lot of fun, but it's also been exhausting because there's a lot of prep. So I'm excited to be able to take a break to figure out how to make this better, to make it more smooth and streamlined, and to line up more and more guests and get more people involved where I can. So a month from now, we will have our final 6th episode. Scott, thank you so much for being here for our second to last one.
I got one question for you, Nick.
Yeah. So,
when is our league playoffs?
so the league playoffs, did I announce that yesterday or the day before?
You did.
That is going to be, that's actually good for everyone to know too. So that is going to be December 12th. Sunday, December 12th is our league playoffs. So for anybody that's like 4-2 or 5-1 or undefeated in our league, we'll make top 8, and we'll be streaming all 3 of those games Sunday morning starting around 10 a.m. Central Time. So we'll have a lot of cool league related giveaways for that day, and I'll try to poach Greg for at least a round, maybe get Matt Carey involved, and I'm sure Scott will be playing as usual. So
We'll see.
Can we give people a hint about what we're going to talk about for the last episode?
In terms of everything, or just like...
No, just Star Wars related, because I think we should do the holiday special.
Absolutely.
Yes, let's do it.
Well, maybe Drew and I will maybe do a little segment of us reacting to the holiday special, and then I'll edit it together and we can show everyone.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing.
So
let's do it.
Yes, sounds good. All right, you guys, thank you as always for being here, for supporting us. Drew, thank you for giving me your time so generously. Scott, for being here tonight and being a part of our community. We appreciate you, especially all the Canadians that we have as a part of the 312 team. So thank you all. We will see you guys. Today's Tuesday. I'll see you on Friday night, and then Saturday for more X-Wing. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your week. We'll see you in a month for our final season, but for our other content, I'll be seeing you very soon. Adios. 312 and Scott and Drew signing off. Good night.
Bye.